Now, should councils be allowed to raise tax by 25%? By law, local authorities are allowed to raise it by up to 5%, but 8 struggling councils are saying, oh, we can't do that.
The issue of council tax increases for local authorities who've gone bankrupt brings to light the question of how to deal with a system that clearly isn't working. The fact that councils are facing mounting social care costs for an ageing population means that this is a problem that isn't going to go away. Marina Purkiss, as always, is a shining light on tricky subjects.
And there's a loophole. If they declare themselves bankrupt, they are allowed to bling in bigger tax rises. In one area under Windsor and Maidenhead, it might be 25%, which is roughly an extra £451 per household. Government forces councils to do things, but restricts the amount they can raise to pay for them.
Exactly, so that's another reason. So you've got these government-mandated, sort of unfunded projects that local authorities have to do, and they just haven't got the funds for it. Then you've got over the 14 years of Conservative government, they saw cuts of between 40 and 70%. So it's no wonder that so many are going bankrupt. But this sort of arbitrary rise of 25% is wrong. And in fact, I've said this for a while now. There are other experts and the Institute for Fiscal Studies. We need to start being really sensible about council tax, because it is arbitrary, it is regressive, and it is unfair. You have got Buckingham Palace that pays a yearly council tax of £1,800 there or thereabouts.
Is it? What?
£1,800.
With 775 bedrooms?
Yes, this is a property worth £1 billion, roughly, paying £1,800 a year. That is more than your average 3-bed semi in Blackpool. That shows you how out of touch and how not fit for purpose our council tax system is. We need reform.
Buckingham Palace is never a good example of anything, is it? Because there aren't any.
It doesn't matter.
There are no other properties.
I think the point you're making
you wanted extra band at the top
about council tax bans being completely out of kilter with house prices. When council tax bans were set, I think it was
30 years ago.
Yeah, it was in 1991 is when council tax bans were set, when property prices were completely different. They've not been updated since then. So you've got situations where in the most expensive part of London, you can have families paying minimal council tax, whereas in other parts of the country where property prices are much lower, they're paying more council tax. So council tax bans needs to be changed. But whenever this is proposed, council taxpayers, voters, everyone at home gets angry about it, so it never happens.
Click here for what Anne Widdecombe would do if she was made Prime Minister.